Hi everyone, I'm Ixun Zhao. Today I will give a presentation about Japan. This presentation will help students or business people who want to go to Japan for a travel or study. This presentation will also provide an introduction to a deeper level of Japanese civilization. So some scholars would probably find some points useful in this presentation. On Earth, we can grow, live, and have reincarnation of life. Our Earth has been breeding civilizations. As human, we create civilizations. We have ancient Egyptian civilization, China civilization. We also have Greek civilization, Buddhism civilization, old thing, etc. Now we have modern civilization. Then what makes a civilization? I summarized the 6 factors that make a civilization. If you investigate deeper, you will find every civilization that lasts for long must have these 6 factors. They are circle of life, breadth of character, carries the outer world, mind philosophy, advanced thinking, cloud system, the last one, reinvention of civilization. Japan, as a civilization that now is still continuing, it definitely owns these 6 factors. I will mainly discuss Japan using the 6 factors of civilization. This is Mount Fuji, the highest point in Japan. Let's look at some basic geographic information of Japan. The Japan has territorial area around 146 square mile, which is around the area of Pennsylvania. It has population of 127 million. The main ethnic group is Japanese. Its capital is Tokyo. Japan's main religions are Shinto and Buddhism. Its government is unitary parliamentary and constitutional monarchy. Its emperor is Akito. Its current prime minister is Shinzo Abe. The Japan's GDP is around $5 trillion, which is the third largest economy. Let's see the first factor of civilization, circle of life. It consists untiring strives, continuous development, absorption to the various cultural elements, survival, reproduction, and grandness of ethnic group. Japan is a nation with a long history. Japanese people have put endless effort to develop their civilizations throughout the change of eras. According to Japanese ancient history, around 14,000 BC, which is the start of the Jomon period, the Japanese ancestors were in hunter-gatherer culture. Around 300 BC, the Yayoi people began to enter the Japanese islands from China and Korea. They brought the farming, pottery, and metallurgy techniques to Japan. starting Yayoi period, from around Han Dynasty of China. Japan started diplomatic contact with China. Buddhism was introduced to Japan, and many aspects of the Japanese culture were influenced by China. On such small islands with limited resources and frequent natural disasters, especially earthquakes, Japanese people give endless effort and untiring strives to survive. These are the four representative eras in Japan's history. Inara era, from year 710 to 784. This era, Japan was in a period of great prosperity under laws and decrees. After that was a long period of Shogunate era, was also a warring period. When Japan was in the flames of war, people lived in misery. 1868 to 1912, 2012 was called Meiji era. When Meiji Restoration happened, during Meiji Restoration, Japan imported Western regulations, technologies, and cultures. Fictions with individualism had appeared. Literature started to blossom. The Meiji Restoration had strengthened Japan's national power. During World War I, Japan's economy developed rapidly. This had saved Japan's strength preparing for World War II, and it became the main invaders in Pacific battlefield. After World War II, Japan's sovereignty was taken. Japan put all the energy to develop technology and economy. Now Japan has the third highest GDP. Its technology and innovation are on the top of the world. Japan absorbs and develops various cultural elements: art, religion, tea ceremony, sumo, cooking culture, and clothes. These are all very special and delicate. From generations to generations, Japanese people used their wisdom and diligence survived and developed their ethnic group. The second factor of civilization is breadth of character, or virtues. This is the most important factor, because only breadth of character carries the outer world. If you take a look at the creators of every civilization or country, for example, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, they were the two fathers of America. These two persons both took great virtues as their highest life standards. Because they had accumulated enough breadth of character, America could last its prosperity for so long. Great virtues should consist altruism, devotion, tolerance, and contentment. I have ever been on a subway in Japan. Every person was very quiet. No one talked. Everyone was looking at their cell phones or just sitting there. I have asked one of my Japanese friends why people are so quiet on subway. He told me that because they did not want to annoy others. Not even a little bit. Japanese people worried about bringing trouble to the others. Japanese people care for others. It is very rare to see any other nations that can have such altruism. The core element of Japanese culture is samurai spirit. which is devotion basically. Devote to the others, devote to the societies, devote to the careers, devote to the faith. I've ever visited a Japanese sword producer. They do not welcome returning customers coming back for a second sword. When we heard it, we were very surprised. This producer told us, if we make a sword for a customer, we hope this sword will be the only sword that this customer wants in his entire life, and he will pass it to his next generation as an heirloom. This is devotion spirit. Comparing to the fast-paced economy-driven world, Japanese people's professional ethics are truly precious. Japan is a tolerating nation, and Japanese are kind and sincere too. For every person, everything, Japanese people give full respect. Japanese people are relatively conservative, and they insist their own culture. However, Japanese rarely reject other cultures or discriminate foreigners. Mind philosophy. Mind philosophy can be explained as following heart, intuition. Everything comes originally from heart. It has four elements: passion to the new things, wide interests, exploring spirit, innovation. Most of the genius and successful people have this factor. For example, Steve Jobs is a master on philosophy of mind. Japan is a nation that is good at these elements. The best example is Japan's animation industry. Anyone has seen their animations, many of them are brilliant and masterpiece. One interesting thing that if you go to Japan, let's say you want to find any business opportunities in Japan, you look that everywhere. You wouldn't find anywhere that can make a profitable business because anything that you can think of is already made out by Japanese. Those you didn't have an idea of were already there. You can find innovation exists everywhere in Japan. If a civilization wants to lead the world, it must have advanced thinking. The United States has the most advanced thinking. Advanced thinking is made of flexibility, creative thinking, foresighted thinking. Last, advanced thinking brings advanced economies. Japanese are stubborn about their standards and code of conduct, but when talk about dealing with social matters or creation, they are amazingly flexible. Artificial intelligence, robots, new energy, medical, everything, etc. Japan has many of the leading edge technologies, and these are exported to the rest of the world. Japan has the world's third highest GDP. Its GDP structure is as following: automobile industry, electronic industry, precise instrument, steel, shipbuilding, optics industry, nuclear industry, space industry. Nowadays, people like to talk about cloud system. Modern civilization is going under a revolution. That is cloud system. The next era for human is cloud era. When we see a person or a thing, we don't just see the obvious 5%. We need to understand the 95% behind it. We will use a systematic and comprehensive observation for every person and things we meet. One is all is one. What is the characteristic of cloud? Everything is connected. No limitation. It appears where needed. In the future, all of our industries will be like cloud. Everything's linked together. The whole world is connected. Finally, in order to let a civilization exist permanently, we must reinvent civilizations. We have to inherit, absorb, develop, innovate, and create a unique civilization. In the future, every civilization is unique. In the future, every individual will create his or her own unique civilization. Thank you.